let's try and plot some of this data. I'll say at the outset that there are much better ways of doing what we're trying to do here, but I just want us to practice what we have learned already before we do the more efficient approaches. So where we left off, we had this URL, and we were reading the data from the URL, and then I was printing the first line of the data, which looked like this. I want to see a list of what the various regions are. So let's practice some list comprehensions. Well, I don't know which column I want yet, so let's maybe... Here, I'll display line 5. So Virgin Islands. So let's see, that's this is the 0th element, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This looks like the 6th element over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a list called names, where I'm going to do a list comprehension, where I'll say line dot split on comma, because I'm imagining I'm going to take each line, I'm going to split it on commas, then I want to extract the thing in index 6, which should be the name. So I'll get the element at index 6, and I want to do that for all lines in lines. And then let's display names. I'll run that, and it looks like there's an error, which is saying a bytes-like object is required. So what's happening here is I'd claimed that this was returning strings. They're not actually strings. So let's go ahead and cast it to string here. And I think that should fix it. Okay, great. Oh, this seems like it's the state name, not what I wanted. So I'm betting that the region name is directly adjacent to the state name. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. So San Diego, Napa, Nevada, all these things. So now I've got this list that is all of the names. Let's look some things up. So let's look up, oh, there I see Santa Clara. Okay, so let's do Santa Clara index. I can say names.index, and this is going to return the index where it finds this element in the list. And let's just make sure this works. Okay, so it's index 234. Great. So now let's get out all of the data that we want to graph here. So first, let's print out lines Santa Clara index so that we can see what that whole line looks like. Okay, so that's what the line looks like. So I want to extract a slice that contains all of this data here. So let's do that. So Santa Clara data equals, so let's cast, what do I want to do here? All right, so let's take lines Santa Clara index. Let's cast that as a string so we can split it on comma. And then I want to take a slice consisting of, ooh, what index is this? Let's see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to guess 12, and if that's not right, we can take a look. And then I want to go all the way to the end. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, I was off by 1, so we're going to start at 13 so we don't get this US as our first element. And I don't want to deal with removing the \n here, so actually I'm going to end at the last element. Remember that -1 allows us to go up to but not including the last element. Okay, so now it looks like I've got some clean numeric data, although they're still, I think they're strings. So now let's turn our attention to adding this to a plot. So let's go over here with our plot example and copy it, and I'm just going to paste it there. I'm going to collect the import statements at the top, so I'll cut this and paste it up there. And now I'll add a comment that just separates these. So I think in this case, I don't need x's and y's, I just want y's. So let's make a variable called y, and I'm going to do a list comprehension where I'll change the data type of all of these elements to an int. So I want to cast all the values for to int for each value in Santa Clara data. So hopefully that will now turn all of those into ints. And now Santa Clara infections. And then this is going to be time in days. And this will be number of people. And I only want one plot. So I'll delete that one. And my plot is just going to have the Y values. But the rest of it seems fine. And I don't probably need a legend or a label. So I'll remove those things. Again, let's run it and see what happens. And there we go. So I hope you can see it's pretty quick to hack some stuff together quickly in Python. Making nice reusable code is a topic for a later day. But I hope that you can play around with this a little bit, graph some other rows in the data, and hopefully later on I'll show you a better way to explore the data and maybe do some statistics on it. Okay, hope this was helpful.